Alright, so it is Monday night. It is the 12th of June, which means we're almost halfway through the month and I need to start querying at the end of the month. So, my goal for this week is to work on my query package. And this means that I need to rewrite my query letter, work on my synopsis, and work on whatever little bits and bobs I'm going to need for various like querying forms and submissions. I'm nervous. This makes me really nervous, but yes, it is Monday. I'm gonna try really hard to be like on top of all of my stuff this week. It's been, I don't know, the first half of June has been a little bit rough. We were on vacation for a week and a half out of town, which if you have small kids, it takes a very long time to recover from that sort of a thing, just with routines and schedules, and I feel like we're starting to catch up now, but we're still really far behind on everything. I'm starting to feel more on top of things again. So I'm gonna do this push, try and get that all done this week. And then I think I'll have 2 more weeks then. Let's see, it's the 12th, which for my quarter, that ends on the 2nd. So yeah, after this week I have 2 more, which will give me enough time to go through and do that last proofreading pass and do like my query agent research and all of that. So yeah, I'm going to pull up all of the stuff that I have to work on and get myself settled in to work on this. Alright, we're going to ignore the fact that it is now Wednesday and just ignore that. And yes, so I have gone through and I have rewritten the book part, or the normal part of the query, right? The actual pitch. So not the little intro sentence, like not the metadata, not the bio. And I've rewritten that part, just kind of getting the basic information I want in there. But I need to condense it a lot. It's 380 words, which is a bit long. Like, I think ideally you want your query letter to be between, I think it's like 250 and 350 words. So it's already over that, and I don't even have the other paragraphs in. So I need to work on that. So I'm going to keep going through and trying to condense it as much as possible. It's really hard, but I'm going to see if I can condense it more. I think the one I submitted to, let's see, what folder is this? The one I submitted to 10 queries was, if I don't count the thank you for your consideration part, it was 491 words. So I guess that was a little long there anyway. But yeah, I still think I need to shorten it a little bit. So I'm going to work on doing that. Yes. I cut 55 words and it was a bit hard. I'm only down to 326. Which is way too long. I'm going to try to put my other stuff in here just to show me how much I need to really cut with my bio and everything. So it's just, this is so hard. Like, how do you write a query letter for epic fantasy with multiple POVs? Because it's really rough. Okay, so I pulled up my feedback from 10 queries again, and what it says is for my query, it says too summary-like, and it doesn't focus on the immediate action that kicks off the story. It's multi-POV, but only focuses on one main character. But with multi-POV, it's good to talk about the mutual stakes tying them all together and give an idea of how their storylines intersect. Which is what I'm trying to do, because I have this common thread that kicks it all off, right? That ties them all together. And, yeah. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. Okay, I'm down to a very trim 234 words, which is amazing. I feel like I'm just missing so much here, but I think it's the most important pieces, and it's hopefully compelling enough to at least get them to look at the pages or the synopsis or something, which I need to see how many of these even look for a synopsis, but I'm pretty happy with that. And that's 234 words without the bio paragraph or anything. So I think that's pretty good, because without shortening it at all, my current metadata and bio paragraphs are another 172 words. So that definitely puts me over the word count, but I can definitely cut these down a good bit. So I'm going to fix this up and then send it over to some people in my critique group for some feedback. Okay, I've sent that off. I shortened it up a good bit and I am very happy with it. If I include literally every word in the entire thing, including the like, thank you for your time and consideration, whatever, I am at 354 words. So I think that's pretty great, especially for epic fantasy. And I started looking at my synopsis too, and I need to redo a lot of this. It's a little bit rough. Not all the agents I want to query even look at a synopsis, but I need to have it ready. But I don't have the mental capabilities to look at this tonight. I'm just not here for it. It's like 9 o'clock now. So I'm going to go try and work out a little bit and then relax a little bit before bed. And then tomorrow's Thursday. I might have time tomorrow night to work on the synopsis. I'm not sure, but I'm hopefully quick or close with the query. I'm hoping to get some like positive feedback and some good things to fix, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, here's the problem with the query letters is that it doesn't feel like there's an objective way to know if it's good. Like, obviously there's going to be certain things that like once you learn a lot and you follow all those rules, it'll be pretty good. But in terms of like how to do the multi-POV query letter, there are just so many different ways to do it, and I think it really just depends on what agents want. And having gotten differing feedback, it feels like, from different places, like I'm mostly just going with the most recent feedback I've gotten. I don't know, it's a little disconcerting, but we're gonna go with it and hopefully it works out. So yes, I'm probably gonna, I don't know, wait to get some comments and, you know, go do other stuff, and then I'll check back in whenever I have time to update or work on the synopsis. Okay, so I've kind of been procrastinating. I did some work on my query package, but for the most part, I haven't done much, and it's been over a week at this point. A lot of June has slipped away from me. We are very close to when I want to start querying, but oh my gosh, this is really, really stressful. I got some feedback, which I'm pulling everything up now. I did get some feedback on my query letter for a few people, and I've just been like thinking about it and dreading it, honestly. The feedback I got was essentially for having the multi-POV query. They're like, oh, you know, you shouldn't be focusing spread out this much on all these POVs. You should really be like focusing on your main POV. And it's just like, why does everyone have such differing opinions about how this works? Like, what is the right way to do it? Like, I wish someone could just tell me, because I feel like no matter what I do, no matter what attempts I go with, half the people that read it are going to think it's wrong. And that's very stressful for me. And so I've just been like dreading finishing this and figuring it out, and also dreading the like synopsis, because I feel like the synopsis needs to have the same vibes. Like, either I go through the synopsis from the perspective of like how it all relates to the main character, which is how I did it before, because that's how I did the query. And like I still included everything, but that's sort of the main thread I was following. But it's like, if I'm including all the POVs and how they interact, then I should really focus on that main storyline, and then how all the main characters interact with each other and with it. And it doesn't sound like that's that different, but when you're trying to put a whole epic fantasy novel in a page or two, and I have a lot going on, like, I really do have a lot going on. So yeah, this whole process is very stressful for me, and I'm having trouble with it, and I've just been like absolutely putting it off, and I don't know. I'm having trouble with it. A lot of trouble. I'm just gonna go through it again, and I think I need to just maybe try and blend the two a little bit, like include a few more details of like focusing on my main POV character while still keeping the other stuff in there, and then just try and figure out what I think is the most compelling. Because I think, all things considered, they're not grading my query based off how it fits into a formula. Like, there are certain things that like they want to know that you've done your research and you've taken your time to figure out the right way to do it and like clearly know how to write a query. But I feel like a lot of it is just you need to hook them. It's supposed to be compelling. That's the whole point of this. And like all that formula and structure is ways to do that. But if I like, instead of focusing on which formula I should go with, I should just, I think, try and focus on what will be the most compelling. I think that's what I need to do. So I'm going to read through this. I'm going to go through my comments again, I think with that perspective, and try and edit it all and get it all good. And then I'm going to look at my synopsis and then hopefully send that out for feedback. And then I think, honestly, all the other stuff that I need to put together, I'm just going to put together, like, as I need it while querying, because, I don't know, I feel like putting this all together beforehand is just, I don't know, I'm kind of getting at the point where I feel like I need to just get it really good and then stop overthinking everything and just, like, start querying. And I still want to do my passes, my proofreading pass, which I've started, and I've gotten a bit of a way through that, but I do still want to finish that. And I do still have time to do everything. It's just like, I've been procrastinating this and dreading it and putting it off. So I've been wasting a lot of time. But I will say that it's also been like really, really stressful for me at work right now. It's been really, really hard where like I still like going to work. It's a lot of challenges that I need to figure out, but I'm just so dead when I come home, and there have been times where I'm very frustrated, and so then I'm frustrated at home, and then I can't, this is hard enough to do when I'm like in a perfect great mood. Like right now it's 10 a.m. I've had yummy breakfast, I've been up for a little bit, this is still hard. So yeah, I really am thinking that maybe what I should have done, I don't know, for next quarter next quarter all I'm doing really is drafting. But I might need to start thinking in the future about trying to spread out what I'm doing based off, like, easy tasks and, like, it's been a hard day tasks, and this is more, like, fun work, you know, and trying to spread it out like that. But I don't know. I don't have time to worry about that right now, and I don't need to figure that out for a while because I'll be drafting. So I don't know. I'm gonna work on this. Okay, bye. Okay, so I've done another pass on this, and right now, not counting the thank you for your time and consideration, Madeline James part, I have 500 words here. And I ended up reworking everything into Bryn's storyline, but I'm still including how the other characters work into Bryn's story. It's not really quite the same as I had before, where it was like I focused on that one event that triggers all of their storylines, although I still have that a little bit, but it's very clear how they work into Bryn's storyline, and I only have one of the second POV characters, I have their like internal conflict and goals in here because that really directly conflicts with Bryn's. But then for the other two, who's kind of like, they don't directly conflict with Bryn, I don't go into it as much. Like, they build off of it, and I focus on it less, because I think this gives you the vibes and tells you who those other characters are and how their stories interact with it, but it doesn't tell you more than that. And I'm hoping this is compelling enough to get them to, like, you know, request pages or read the pages or look at the synopsis. The other thing I've had trouble with is trying to distill this enough to make it short enough and include these things. Makes it hard not to potentially misrepresent what my story is about, which is a little bit tricky. But I've highlighted some sections that I could get rid of. So I'm gonna go work on my synopsis and then come back to this, read it through again, and then decide if I want to cut those lines. And then I would make it a little bit shorter than 500 words, which I think would be ideal. But I think this is, I never even know with these if I'm making them better. I sort of just feel like I'm making them different over and over again, which is fun. But yes, I'm gonna set on my synopsis, which is currently, let me check, how many words? 924 words. So I think the goal is to keep it under 1,000 maybe. That might have been what I was trying to do, but yes, I'm gonna work on this for a little bit. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I think I have gotten these in a really good place, both the query letter and the synopsis. The query letter I feel like is basically done. I'm pretty happy with it. I wouldn't mind having one more person take a peek just to kind of make sure it still reads super cohesively, but I think it's a lot better. I really changed it to be a lot more main character focused, but I kind of already talked about that. And then the synopsis, I just sort of went through again and tried to make it sound more synopsis-like than, like, pitchy, I guess, and just really bring everything through and make sure the stuff that I think that's really important is in there. I don't feel like it's great, but it's a synopsis, and it's hard. It's hard. I don't know. I mean, it might be synopsis fine, you know? Like, it's very different style of writing that I'm not super experienced with. I had my husband, who is generally my alpha reader, look over both of them and give me some feedback, so we went through those. But at this point, I might get a little bit of feedback more on both of them, maybe do a little bit of tweaking. I've already fixed all the grammatical stuff, but I think it's basically done. So I'm going to consider that my query package done, and yeah, that's one more step further, and I am getting nervous. I just have to proofread. It's tempting to just start sending out queries because my first pages are done, but I really do want to send out some queries, and like the odds of me getting a request in my first like round of queries is like basically 0, but I really should have it all done before I send out any queries. So that's going to be my next thing to work on, and I need to finish up my agent list. So you will probably get, the next video will be me focusing on the agent work, research, and I've already done a bit of work on that and filmed a little bit of that, but that's going to be my next big push to get ready because it is the 23rd. So I have basically like a week. I think next weekend is when I want to start querying. So that's intense. So yeah. All right. I think that's where I'm going to leave this little like June query package prep vlog, and I will see you in the next one.